Tonight, we embark on a journey across North America, delving into a tale of two neighboring nations, countries that share a long border, a rich history, and deep economic ties, but are now experiencing dramatically different fortunes in the aerospace industry. Once united by collaboration and competition, the United States and Canada now find themselves on opposite trajectories, their aerospace destinies diverging in ways few could have predicted just a decade ago. In the United States, Boeing has long stood as a towering symbol of American industrial strength and innovation. But today, the company faces unprecedented challenges, production delays, safety concerns, and fierce global competition. The ripple effects are being felt far beyond the factory floor, leaving entire communities anxious about their livelihoods and casting a shadow of uncertainty over the nation's future as a leader in aerospace. Meanwhile, just across the border, Canada's aerospace sector is experiencing a renaissance. Canadian companies are not only capturing lucrative international contracts, but also pioneering cutting-edge technologies in sustainable aviation and advanced manufacturing. New assembly lines are buzzing with activity, and skilled jobs that are disappearing in the US are now flourishing in Canadian cities. This remarkable surge is no accident. It's the result of decades of strategic investment, government support, and a relentless focus on research and innovation. Canada's commitment to nurturing talent and fostering collaboration between industry and academia has paid off, positioning the country as a global leader in aerospace. The contrast between the two nations is stark and deeply personal. In Seattle, families who once relied on stable aerospace jobs now face an uncertain future, grappling with layoffs and dwindling opportunities. In Montreal, by contrast, job fairs are bustling with hopeful applicants, and the city's skyline is dotted with signs of growth and optimism. The world is taking notice. Global airlines, investors, and governments are recalibrating their strategies, increasingly looking to Canada as a hub for innovation and reliability in aerospace. The shifting balance of power is prompting a re-evaluation of partnerships, supply chains, and long-term investments across the industry. The stakes in this unfolding story are incredibly high. The decisions made today will not only shape the future of North America's aerospace industry, but will also have far-reaching consequences for the global economy, technological progress, and the lives of millions. As the world watches, the next chapter in aerospace history is being written right now. To grasp today's crisis, we must remember what Boeing once meant to America. Boeing built the planes that won wars, connected continents, and symbolized American excellence. But recent years have brought tragedy and scandal. The 737 MAX crashes shattered trust and exposed deep flaws in Boeing's safety culture. Investigations revealed a shift from engineering to cost-cutting, eroding the company's reputation. Production flaws and delays have plagued the 787 Dreamliner and military projects alike. Confidence among airlines, passengers, and the Pentagon has plummeted. Once the gold standard, Boeing now faces a crisis of identity and survival. The collapse of projects and jobs is a stark break from its storied past. While Boeing dominated headlines, Canada quietly built a world-class aerospace sector. Decades of government investment and collaboration fostered a stable, innovative ecosystem. Companies like Bombardier and Pratt and Whitney Canada became global leaders in regional jets and aircraft engines. Montreal emerged as a top aerospace hub, rivaling Seattle and Toulouse. Canada's strategy focused on specialized niches, business jets, simulators, and advanced components, making the sector resilient. Consistent public-private partnerships fueled risk-taking and innovation, especially in green technologies. While the world watched Boeing and Airbus, Canada laid the groundwork for its current surge. Boeing's crisis deepened dramatically with the cancellation of its highly anticipated new mid-market airplane, a project that was once seen as the company's next big leap forward. This decision sent shockwaves through the entire aerospace industry, signaling not just a pause in innovation, but a major setback for Boeing's long-term strategy and competitiveness. The abrupt halt of this program erased thousands of high-skilled jobs in Washington state, affecting engineers, technicians, and assembly line workers who had dedicated years to the company. For many, Boeing was more than just an employer. It was a source of community pride and economic stability. The loss of these jobs rippled through the supply chain, devastating communities like Everett, where generations have relied on Boeing for their livelihoods. Local suppliers, small businesses, and service providers all felt the impact as the economic engine that powered the region began to sputter. The closures and layoffs threatened the very economic identity of these towns, leaving families and business owners facing an uncertain future. Meanwhile, Boeing's Starliner spacecraft program, once a symbol of American ingenuity, has been plagued by repeated delays and technical failures, raising questions about the company's ability to deliver on its promises. These setbacks have damaged Boeing's reputation with NASA, a critical partner, and cast doubt on its role in the future of space exploration. Airlines and government clients, once loyal to Boeing, are now losing faith in the company's ability to deliver safe and reliable aircraft on time. Many are turning to more reliable partners like Airbus and Embraer, shifting their orders and investments away from Boeing in search of greater certainty and stability. "We need certainty," said one airline CEO, voicing a concern that is now echoed across the industry as airlines face mounting pressure to maintain their own schedules and profitability. This growing sentiment among industry leaders highlights a deepening crisis of confidence in Boeing's leadership and future direction. Boeing's shrinking order book and repeated setbacks have left the company on the defensive, struggling to reassure investors, customers, and employees alike. For the first time in its storied history, the American aviation giant is struggling to keep pace with global competitors, raising fears about its long-term survival. The impact is not just economic, it's a blow to national pride. Boeing has long been a symbol of American innovation and strength, and its troubles are felt deeply across the country. The future of Boeing and the communities that depend on it for jobs, opportunity, and hope now hangs in the balance. As uncertainty grows, both the company and its workers face an unprecedented challenge. The road ahead for Boeing and for the American aerospace industry as a whole is more uncertain than ever before. As Boeing stumbles, Canadian aerospace is soaring. Bombardier's $8 billion global 8,000 jet deal is creating thousands of jobs in Montreal and across Canada. Pratt and Whitney Canada's hybrid electric engine is attracting orders and positioning the country as a leader in green aviation. CAE's expansion in flight simulation is meeting global demand for pilot training, fueling further growth. Canadian companies are hiring, drawing talent from around the world, including laid-off Boeing engineers. Job fairs in Montreal and Toronto are bustling, signaling a brain gain for Canada. The sector's momentum is undeniable, and the world is taking notice. Canada's aerospace boom is reshaping the industry's future. Boeing's collapse is sending shockwaves through the American economy. Communities in Washington state face massive job losses, shrinking tax revenues, and struggling small businesses. In Congress, calls for bailouts clash with frustration over Boeing's repeated failures. The loss of high-paying manufacturing jobs accelerates the decline of the middle class and deepens social strain. America's trade balance suffers as aircraft exports dwindle, weakening U.S. influence abroad. The political dilemma is clear: save a national icon or demand real reform. The stakes are not just economic, they're about the future of American industry and identity. For many, the American dream feels further out of reach. The nation faces a reckoning with its industrial decline. For Canada, the aerospace surge is a strategic windfall. High-value jobs and investment are boosting the economy and strengthening the social fabric, especially in Montreal and Toronto. The government projects billions in new GDP, fueling further investment in innovation and infrastructure. Canada's global reputation is rising, with its aerospace sector seen as a model of resilience and foresight. Skilled workers from around the world are flocking to Canada, enriching its multicultural communities. The focus on sustainable aviation ensures long-term growth and leadership in the next era of flight. Canada's success is a validation of its collaborative, forward-thinking approach. The country is skating to where the puck is going and winning. Experts see this as more than just a corporate rivalry between aerospace giants. It's a profound shift in the global order, with consequences that reach far beyond the boardrooms of Boeing and Airbus. The fate of entire nations, economies, security, and technological leadership now hangs in the balance as the skies become a new arena for geopolitical competition. As Boeing falters, the very foundation of America's industrial base is shaken. This isn't just about lost jobs or missed contracts. It's about the erosion of a legacy that once symbolized American ingenuity and strength. National security is at stake as the country's ability to produce and maintain advanced aircraft comes under threat. Meanwhile, Canada's diversified aerospace ecosystem is not only weathering the storm, but thriving, attracting investment, talent, and global attention. The Pentagon, long reliant on Boeing for critical defense projects, now faces difficult questions. Can the US military afford to depend on a contractor whose future is uncertain? Defense officials are forced to reconsider their strategies, seeking new partners and solutions in an increasingly complex landscape. Around the world, the balance of power is shifting. Airbus is consolidating its dominance in Europe, while Brazil's Embraer and China's Comac are rapidly expanding their reach. Canada, once seen as a secondary player, is now emerging as a key independent force, leveraging its innovation and skilled workforce to carve out a unique position in the global market. The era of a simple Boeing-Airbus duopoly is coming to an end. We are witnessing the birth of a truly multipolar aviation world where talent, investment, and influence flow across borders and new alliances are formed in the race for aerospace supremacy. For America, reversing this decline will require far more than just financial investment. It demands a fundamental cultural shift, a renewed commitment to engineering excellence, rigorous training, and a passion for innovation that once defined the nation's aerospace industry. Boeing's current troubles are deeply rooted in a loss of focus on quality and a departure from the spirit of innovation. Years of prioritizing short-term gains over long-term vision have left the company vulnerable, and the consequences are now painfully clear. Rebuilding trust, both with customers and within the industry, will not happen overnight. It will take years, perhaps even decades of consistent effort, transparency, and a demonstrated commitment to excellence before Boeing can reclaim its former stature. The consensus among industry leaders and analysts is clear. There are no quick fixes for America's aerospace woes. The path forward is long and uncertain, requiring patience, resilience, and a willingness to adapt. As the world's skies are being redrawn, one thing is certain: Canada is ready to seize the moment, stepping confidently onto the global stage as a leader in the new era of aviation. Where do we go from here? The US faces the challenge of supporting displaced workers and rebuilding its industrial base. Boeing must restore trust through transparency, safety, and a renewed commitment to engineering. For Canada, the challenge is to sustain its momentum, investing in innovation, education, and green aviation. Managing growth and integrating new talent will be key to long-term success. The lesson is clear: industrial power must be earned, not assumed. The story of Boeing and Canada is a warning and an inspiration. The future of flight is being written now, and our choices will shape it. The world is watching, because the balance of power in the sky is changing.